You keep putting things off, not small things, the things that matter, the message you haven't sent, the work you know you could do, the version of your life that feels just close enough to touch. And you tell yourself the same story every time. I'm just lazy. But what if that's not true? What if the real reason you avoid starting has nothing to do with motivation and everything to do with who you'd have to become? You don't feel lazy all the time. You can scroll for hours, research endlessly, think deeply about your future. But when it's time to act, your body resists. You delay. You clean things that don't matter. You wait for the right mood. And afterward, there's guilt, confusion, a quiet fear that something is wrong with you. Psychologically, this experience is common in people who are highly self-aware, people who imagine deeply, who see multiple futures at once, who feel the weight of consequence before action even begins. This isn't a willpower problem. It's an identity problem. Let's be clear about something. If you were truly lazy, you wouldn't care this much. Laziness is neutral. You don't agonize over it. You don't feel shame about it. What you're experiencing is avoidance with awareness. In psychology, this often shows up when behavior threatens a person's self-concept. Your brain isn't saying, "I don't want to do this." It's saying, "If you do this, something about you will have to change." And the brain is designed to protect identity even more than happiness. Here's the key idea. Your brain treats identity like a structure, not a belief, a structure. Think of it like a building. Every role you've played, every label you've accepted, every expectation placed on you, they formed the walls. Now imagine a behavior that threatens those walls. Success, for example. If you succeed, people expect more. If you fail after trying, you lose the excuse of potential. Neuroscience shows that the brain processes identity threat similarly to physical danger. The amygdala doesn't ask, "Is this logical?" It asks, "Is this familiar?" Familiar pain feels safer than unfamiliar growth. So your nervous system creates friction, not to sabotage you, but to protect the version of you it knows how to keep alive. This isn't about forcing action. Force creates rebound. Instead, think in terms of identity safety. Here are 4 principles grounded in psychology. Avoidance becomes powerful when it's vague. The brain fears unknown identity shifts more than known ones. Ask yourself quietly, if I finished this, who would I become? Not what would I achieve, who would I be? More visible? More accountable? Less able to hide? Naming the feared identity reduces amygdala activation. This is supported by affect labeling research. What you name, the brain can soften. Right now, your brain links effort with self-worth. That's heavy. Cognitive psychology shows that when identity and behavior are fused, avoidance increases. So you create a mental boundary. This action does not define me. It only informs me. You're not becoming successful you. You're just running an experiment. Experiments feel safer than commitments. Most advice says, start small. That helps, but it's incomplete. What matters more is this. How much does this action change who you're allowed to be? Lower the identity cost. Don't publish. Draft. Don't commit. Explore. The brain resists identity shifts, not motion. Resistance is not a signal to stop. It's a sign you're near an identity edge. Neuroscience calls this prediction error. Your brain predicted safety in staying the same. You're violating that prediction. So discomfort appears, not as danger, but as noise. You don't obey it. You don't fight it. You let it exist while you act anyway. Here's the model to remember. You are not fighting laziness. You are negotiating with an identity guardian. Its job is simple: keep you recognizable to yourself. Growth doesn't require overpowering it. It requires showing it that the new version of you is still safe to exist. Action isn't about becoming fearless. It's about becoming familiar with the self you're avoiding. If you've been stuck for a long time, this isn't your failure. It's your mind doing its job too well, protecting you from change that feels bigger than it looks. You don't need more discipline. You don't need more pressure. You need to make space for a version of yourself that hasn't been allowed to exist yet. And when you're ready, you don't have to rush. Just take one step that lets that version breathe. That's not laziness. That's fear, slowly learning it doesn't have to decide your life.